You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
This is insane. Eyes widen over teased Trump stunt during upcoming national address, based on an article by Matthew Chapman. Trump's fraud theater is a power move, not a claim. The setup. According to the report, Donald Trump is preparing to declare Georgia Senators Jon Ossoff and Raphael Warnock illegitimate because of fraud, reviving a Georgia election conspiracy he has pushed for years without evidence. The social media reaction was the right one, not confusion, but recognition that this is not an argument. It is an attempt to manufacture permission for contempt. Who holds power? The only institutional power in this story sits with Trump and the Republican apparatus that continues to orbit him. He is not a marginal agitator yelling from outside the system. He is the former president staging a public spectacle while his party remains structurally unable, or unwilling, to dislodge him. That matters. When a man with national reach and party dominance says elected senators are illegitimate, he is not floating a theory. He is testing how much democratic reality he can corrode before anyone stops him. The misdirection. The fraud claim is the point of attack, but also the cover. It shifts attention away from the actual decision-makers, Trump, his legal allies, and the political network that spent years trying to overturn Georgia's 2020 result through every available channel. The source itself notes the failure of 64 court cases, the lack of evidence, and the role of Trump's own lawyers in manufacturing the conspiracy. That is the core fact pattern. The lie is not confusion. It is deliberate harm with a paperwork trail. Why Georgia again? Georgia is useful to Trump because it is where the fantasy collides with reality. The state elected Republican statewide and elected Ossoff and Warnock too. That is precisely why the fraud story is so transparent. It does not describe a principled objection to elections, only selective legitimacy. Results count when they help Republicans, they become suspect when they do not. That is not a theory of democracy. It is a doctrine of partisan veto. The real function. The reported announcement would do three things at once: keep Trump at the center of the news cycle, feed his base a fresh grievance, and pressure Republican office holders to keep living inside his alternate legal universe. The well-placed source framing is itself part of the performance, laundering a political thread through gossip aesthetics so it can be treated as rumor instead of strategy. The pattern. This is what authoritarian politics looks like in the American Register, not a coup in one dramatic burst, but repeated attempts to redefine elected opponents as fake, erase unfavorable outcomes, and force institutions to adapt to the lie. The issue is not that Trump is confused about Georgia. He is using Georgia as a stage for nullification. The larger pattern is simple. When democratic results cannot be won cleanly, they are smeared as illegitimate until enough people accept the smear as normal. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Raw Story for today's article. With the automated voice of Sam, thanks for listening.